Namaste. Let us begin with a short prayer. You can join me if you like. Om. Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to my friends in the yoga world and in this room. Thank you to hellomyyoga and Shivani for inviting me to this webinar, coinciding with the 11th International Day of Yoga. I'm a little nervous as usual. I've always been nervous. I don't think I was meant for public life. And I'm thinking about this journey of the last 33 years that I've been on, which is a blessed journey. And I wish that all of us, of course, who are practicing yoga, who are masters of yoga here in this room, and mentors and guides to thousands of people, we are able to attract and invite many, many more people in a world that is torn by strife and suffering, physical, mental, and emotional pain, and difficulties of all kinds. I think of a world where spiritual and peaceful activities did not exist. What kind of world would that be? I'm just thinking that when so many of us do practice yoga, maybe there is some balance, and the balance comes because of the practitioners, of the people who practice. And I don't say it in an egoistic way. I say it in a way that I hope that our practice helps not only us, but also, as Shivani mentions, the topic, a distracted world. With these, few words, I'd like to talk about some of the principles that I feel are important. When we say distracted world, it seems as if the world is distracted currently. But many thousands of years ago, the wise seers and saints who codified yoga, and more so Maharishi Patanjali, spoke about distraction even then. And I want to bring my understanding of this to the audience, that distraction has always been there. And it has always dominated human consciousness. There has always been hypnotism and obsession and a certain state of unconsciousness that human beings have always faced. So this is the principle which has underlined human life and thousands of years of living. And that principle continues to apply. So when Patanjali says, Atha Yoga Anushasanam, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha, he's talking about the mental modifications of the mind, not of the human mind 2000 years ago. He's talking about the human mind, full stop. And then it is for us to understand that it's not 2025. It's any day and any age and any human being. The circumstances are changing, and I've lived through 6 decades. Of course, many things have changed, a lot. But the suffering remains the same. The intensity of losing a pencil or a pen is just as significant today as it was for me 30 years ago. And I can be extremely distracted in a meeting or talking to all of you if I've just lost my pen 5 minutes before this meeting. So the actual desire, a human desire, or a human tendency to hoard, or a human tendency to be attached, has always been there and always will continue to be in existence. So, as I understand, yoga is that practice which helps us to declutter a little bit from the external circumstances. We all know that, isn't it? We all, as practitioners and teachers of yoga, we understand that it's the declutter, it's the a feeling of space, a feeling of lightness and abundance that comes with every practice of yoga, whether you're doing asana practice, pranayama practice, meditation, um, any of the kriyas, even just practicing and reading the spiritual texts, that you start to feel a little liberated from the attachments that surround us. I was listening to Dr. Ganesh Rao. He and I go back 10 years. We were in the same Ayush committee together. We spent some very fond time together listening to each other's experiences with yoga students as well as our own practice. And he spoke very intensely about how the devices have captured our attention. I was listening to that very carefully. And it seemed to me at that time very humorous, because this is what I'm doing all the time. I'm looking at people so hypnotized by the devices that I have come up with this idea that earlier, well, in the 1970s or 80s, the drugs was really the crowd puller. In the 60s for sure, the hippie generation around the world. And then in the 70s and 80s, it became smoking, and then alcohol. And now the new addiction, as you all of us agree, the new addiction, everybody is driving and they're like hypnotized by a device. Everybody's walking on the road and they might collide into a tree or a pole or even other people. And they're so unconscious, they're so drugged by this new amazing drug, so to say. But the drugs have always been there, isn't it? The distractions have always been there. It's not new. Any number of years ago, the distractions might have been different, but human beings had a way of distracting themselves and getting distracted by the wrong things, so to say, inverted commas, just the wrong things. What I want to do is to create a small experience for all of us in the context of the topic that I'm talking about, which is distractions, and especially wise decision making. And I just want to give you a background to this. It was in 1992 that I started practicing yoga. I was a very impulsive, compulsive 29-year-old. All that mattered to me was success and perks and what are the good things that I had in my life. But also in the background, I did have an idea that this was not giving me satisfaction, but there were other things that really gave me satisfaction. So separating the two worlds was not very easy for me. I was untrained. But as I started practicing yoga in the Shivananda Center in Delhi at the age of 29, I started to slow down. And I don't know how I can explain this to maybe the scientists in the room. What does it mean to slow down? But the students of yoga here, the practitioners, know what I mean, isn't it? To slow down. Um, I did some road running, I ran the marathon. I was on overdrive as far as my work was concerned. So yoga was not really something that you did when you were on overdrive. You looked at contact sports like martial arts and karate and so on, isn't it? Or high-speed calisthenics or something like that. But yoga called me, yoga adopted me. I got I got a foster mother, so to say, way back in 92. It's very nice. It's very pleasant to be adopted by another mother, non-biological mother. So what happened then is that I started to slow down. Slow down, well, I don't know how to explain it, but there seemed to be some space in which I could take some decisions. Whereas before that, I was just running. I had no time. I really had to get somewhere. And I speak now in analogy to my students. I say it's like running on a treadmill rather than running on the road. If you run on the road, you'll get somewhere. If you run on the treadmill, you will not go from point A of the geography to point B of the geography. That's if that's your intention. Of course, you get fit on the treadmill and you run on the road both. But if your purpose is to get somewhere from destination A to destination B, then you need to get off the treadmill. That's what happened with yoga and me. In the middle of a very busy corporate life, um, thinking about all the things that we all do to get somewhere, I started to have a sense of space and a sense of time and a sense of calmness. This we all have had an experience. I'm not even trying to suggest that none of us know what I'm talking about. I think everybody understands what I'm saying. But it's an experience. So I want to create that experience in the room briefly with Shivani's permission and everybody else's permission. And I'd like you all to take this practice with me, and then we'll immediately talk immediately after that. Is that okay? Would that work?
Absolutely, sir. This is your session.
Thank you. So maybe if all of you can turn on your cameras, then I know how you're feeling from what I say. And I'm not insisting that you turn on your cameras, but it'll be much better as an experience for me to take you through it and for you to go through it yourself. So whoever can, if you're not sitting in the washroom or somewhere, then if you can switch on your cameras. I also feel that yoga is very serious sometimes. It's too serious. Already it's a difficult subject. And a sense of humor is always welcome, even if it is a little unpolitical, politically incorrect. Okay, so yeah, we have some more volunteers on camera. Thank you very much for turning on the cameras. If you can sit back, if that allows you, if you're sitting on the floor, you're able to lie down, then please lie down. All good yoga happens lying down. Okay. So thank you for cooperating so far. So many cameras have come on. I'm shedding tears of joy. I know you can't see it, but in a Zoom room, it's a miracle for people to turn on the cameras. I don't know what this is, but yeah, this is how the psychology works. Thank you, Pawan, for lying down. You're the first volunteer to even lie down. Actually, this is yoga. It's not something threatening. Something very simple. Okay, if you're sitting on a chair, make sure you have your back resting against the chair so that you don't fall off. You don't blame me for causing injuries. We're just going to meditate for a while, nothing much more than that. Okay, good. So, and if you're sitting on the floor, best to lie down. That would be the best, so that you don't fall down while I'm talking to you. So Anshuman, you can also lie down. Thank you very much. So let's have a little time off, and we're practicing many things together at the same time. We're practicing asana, we're practicing pranayama, and we're also practicing meditation all at the same time. So become aware of your body from the feet to the head. Simply listen to my voice and listen to my instructions. And just enjoy the game with me. You'll have a good time, at least some practice of yoga while we are talking. Mentally scan the body from the feet to the head without disturbing yourself. Become aware of your feet, your legs, and send a silent mental command to your legs to relax. Loosen the legs. Become aware of your arms. Send a silent mental command to your arms to relax. Relax your arms. Just feel the muscles of the body loosening up as I give you the instructions and you follow those instructions. Become aware of your back and relax the back. Become aware of your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Become aware of your neck and throat. Send a silent, gentle mental command to your neck and throat to relax. Become aware of your face. Soften the face. Relax your jaws. Relax your mouth. Soften the eyes. Ease out the lines on the forehead. We carry a little more tension in different parts of the body than the others. The inner thighs, the shoulders, the jaws, the eyes. Once again, just simply scan the body. And relax the body by suggesting the body to relax. And then turn your attention to your mind. Become aware of your thoughts. Become aware of your feelings. Just notice the noise, the conversation, the continuous dialogue, the rising, falling, coming and going of thoughts and feelings. Suggest to your mind to relax. Let go of the thoughts of the day. Let go of your anxieties and worries, fears and problems. Just for a while, just a few minutes. Say to yourself, I want to relax my mind. My mind is relaxing. My mind is calm, peaceful, and relaxed. Just give yourself a few moments. Do not struggle. Do only what you can do comfortably. Allow yourself to welcome some peace, some silence, some relaxation. Enjoy the practice. And now, become aware of your breathing. Become aware of your own breath. As you inhale, feel the body gently expand. As you exhale, feel the body gently contract. Inhale, the body expands. Exhale, the body contracts. Be with your breath and notice the breath. Pay attention to the breath. Experience your own breath. As you inhale, feel the body expand. As you exhale, feel the body contract. With each inhalation, imagine that you are bringing in lots of fresh energy, prana, vitality, and strength into your body and to your mind. With each exhalation, feel yourself relax a little more. Inhale, fresh energy, prana. Exhale, you relax. Inhale, the body expands. You breathe in lots of fresh energy. You exhale, the body contracts, you relax. Inhale, vitality, strength, stamina, energy. Exhale, you relax. The slower, longer, and deeper you breathe, the better it is. Slow, long, deep inhalation, the body expands. Slow, long, complete exhalation, the body contracts. The mind will wander, you bring it back to your breathing, stay with the breath. Now follow my count and try to stay with your breathing, stay with the experience of your breath. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, body expands. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, the body contracts, you relax. You're following my count, listening to my instructions. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, you relax. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you relax. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the body expands. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you relax, the body contracts. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the body expands. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the body contracts, you relax. Inhale, experiencing the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Experience the breath, you relax. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You relax. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You relax. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You relax. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. You relax. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4. You relax. Give yourself a few moments. Continue to experience your breath. Continue to experience the experience. Relax. 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 Mm. Very slowly, gently, bring your awareness back to the present. Externalize your consciousness. Breathe a little more consciously and deeply. If you're lying down, bring your legs together and stretch your arms behind your head. Give yourself a nice long stretch. If you're sitting on the chair, lift your arms above the head. Inhale, lengthen your back, arms, shoulders. And you exhale, release the arms. And everybody can sit up. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And please relax. Take a moment. You can say hello to my yoga or hello my yoga, or you can say hello to everybody else, everybody in the room. And I'm hoping that I can see some bright faces after our practice. Before the experience goes away, whoever is in the room, fastest finger first. If you can unmute yourself and give me an idea of the before and after, or how you're feeling now and how you felt before we started the practice. Just let's have some words. Let us share some words. शैलेश जी, हाथ तो ठीक है, but speak also if you can.
So it was a very peaceful experience, actually. Means it was like that. You just continue and we'll just continue. We don't, I don't want to stop it, It just go on because unless you tell now you have to open your eyes, otherwise it will be a wonderful experience.
Thank
Peace
you
and
for
bliss, peace and bliss, I can say.
peace and bliss. Thank you for expressing that. Who else would like to share? Before the experience goes away, please do share. It's a valuable experience, your experience. Please go ahead. This is your chance at public speaking. Yes, who would like to share next? You can raise your hand on the screen or you can press the button, one of the two. You can unmute yourself. Yes, please go ahead, Dr.
Namaste,
Sangeeta.
Arunji. Namaste,
Namaste.
Shivani ji. And delightful Sangha. All morning I have been running a bit. running. And it was really wonderful to be able to lie down on the floor. Just lie down on the floor and allowing you to guide us. Your language was very simple, accessible, clear, not too much information, and I thought that really was very conducive to letting go of needing to grasp the meaning of what you were saying. So as a facilitator, as someone who shares the practices, is a very good reminder also. that the capacity to just simplify the instructions, especially during relaxation, is so important. And now I feel truly in a different state. So
Very
thank you
good.
so much. Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for sharing, Sangeeta ji. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Yes, who else would like to share? Please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, Rajiv Gori's side.
Yes, Rajiv.
It was nice to get your instructions, and it was flawless, and we just moved on with as per your instructions. So it really enjoyed the peaceful and very energetic your talks. So we really like that, and felt at peace most of the time. Thank you so much for sharing this thing.
Thank you, Rajiv, for sharing. Yes, please. Bridget, please go ahead.
Thank you, Arun. Joining you from Ireland. I was very glad. I think as a yoga teacher, we always spent more time with our students than experiencing those beautiful moments of yoga nidra. And having it guided always makes it more powerful until you're so experienced that you can just drop into it yourself. So I am so grateful for your practice this morning. And as I came back to the screen, I just noticed, my vision is much brighter and clearer.
Yes.
I think if I had practiced this years ago, I wouldn't be wearing glasses now. So I'm so grateful. Thank you, Arun.
Thank you, Bridget. That's wonderful sharing. Yes, Rashmi, please go ahead.
Namaste, Arunji. Namaste, everyone. Arunji, I would like to thank you for guiding us through the beautiful and, clearly instructed, whatever you call it, meditation or awareness session. I personally felt more calmer, and the awareness was more. I could focus on my breath more, and there was stillness. There's some stillness in the clutter of the mind. I just thought that at least you've erased something once. With the duster, how teachers do, they erase, and then there's still some bit left. I'll have to kind of work on it, but yeah, that was
Start again. Do a little more.
yeah. Also, yes, a lot of clarity, stillness, and felt better.
Yes, very good. Thank you for sharing in
Thank you.
very clear, articulate manner. Thank you. Who else would like to say?
Thank you.
Yes, you're appearing as user. Go
Yeah, I know it's not my PC. I'm sorry.
What's your name? Please go.
Rossana from
Sana.
Italy.
Lovely.
Yes, Rossana from Italy.
Sana.
Thank you very much. I really agree with Bridget from Ireland. As a teacher, we are very focused on our students and kind of forget to practice also short practices, just 5 minutes. So in these days, I'm joining some Zoom meetings, and thank you, Sangeeta, that is asking us to enjoy and to join. And I'm so grateful for just 5 minutes of practice, because I'm kind of lazy these days, and I don't know, I nearly fall asleep just in 5 minutes. I couldn't stay there for 5 minutes. I just went a bit too deep in relaxation. So I'm very tired. And I understand that the more I use PC and iPhone and everything, the lack of energy that all these moments on the PC, on the web, is kind of bringing me in another direction from my practice. I really and sometimes I feel that physically my hands, after using the phone, my hands are kind of strange, and my head too. So yeah, so thank you very much for this 5 minutes practice. And yeah, I just want to share this, that sometimes teachers forget the
Thank you
practice.
very much for sharing. That's wonderful. I'm going to sum up things as well. I'm just hearing all of you share your experience. Anybody else would like to say something? Yes, Pallavi, please go ahead.
Namaskaram.
Namaste.
nice practice. I was very tired. It was a long day, running since morning, and I was in a state of complete collapse. But after this practice, I'm completely relaxed. During the practice, my body was completely vibrating. I was feeling that my body is tired. But once the practice got over, now I am ready to embark on a new task.
Very good. Thank you
It
for sharing.
reminded me. It reminded me of the live shavasana sessions which you used to take during the COVID times.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing, Pallavi. Please go ahead. Who else would like to share your experience? Yes, Sailesh ji.
Sir, I have already shared my experience, but one
Ji,
more thing which I want to add.
ji,
In your guided what I can say is meditation,
ji.
I got a very good what you can say guideline, which is neglected one. Experience your own breath, which
Yes,
is highly neglected, though
ji,
it's very, very important. So you have repeated it twice or thrice in that experience your own breath, experience your own breath.
ji.
So that's a fantastic one.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
for
much,
that,
sir.
sir. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
very good. I'm really grateful that so many of you have really played the game. Like, in the middle of a webinar, I'm giving you a yoga experience, and all of your teachers and practitioners. It's not that you don't know what yoga is all about. So I'm grateful that you participated in the right spirit. We can take some sharing from the topic that I'm supposed to deliver. So anybody else would like to say something before I move on?
Hi Arun,
Yes,
Tanvi
hello.
this side.
Hello, Tanvi. How's
So
the baby doing?
baby is doing great, and that's the reason I could not switch on my camera. So yes, I have been spending sleepless nights nowadays, but hearing you live after some time of gap, it's a healing in itself. And I was sitting though, carrying my baby, though I did close my eyes and I just observed all my the complete awareness instructions that you gave. That brought a smile on my face. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Tanvi. Wonderful to have you in the session today and your sharing of the experience. Anybody else? Last, maybe one sharing, and then we'll move on.
The last I would like to
Yes. Yes,
I would like to express the gratitude because it's for the first time that the guest is making feel the host really so good. With this practice, I could have a break because it was a chaotic, it was a fast forward day for me.
Yes.
And yes, completely agree with Bridget that there was a huge clarity.
Yes. Lovely. Thank you for everyone to share your experience. I just want to humbly submit to everybody that it doesn't matter what the world looks like. Uh, it doesn't matter how distracted the world is. In fact, how distracting the world is. Not distracted, but distracting the world is. It doesn't matter how many devices we have or don't have. The world is always going to be distracting. And this is the human tendency, the nature of getting distracted with so many things. Tanvi just shared that she's sitting with her baby. She's not sitting with a device, you see. So it's not a digital world that we have to be worried about. It's our own mind. And a couple of you have shared just now how, as a yoga teacher, you're not giving yourself enough rest, enough time to yourself, enough time for healing and rest. So obviously, the principle is more important of rest, relaxation, recovery, rejuvenation than a changing, fast paced world. What used to be postage stamps and letters seemed like a fast paced world then. Now, an Apple iPhone and video calling and a Zoom room is fast. Tomorrow, artificial intelligence and a hologram, just like Star Wars, Star Trek, you and I will be in a hologram suddenly appearing in somebody's drawing room. That will be fast paced. We don't know what is in store out there. What we know about ourselves through yoga, meditation, Ayurveda, and many of the spiritual sciences is that we have some wonderful technology. The human body, the human mind, the human spirit is wonderful technology. And we have sciences handed down thousands and thousands of years and generations of human beings refined to its best extent. For us to be the best version of ourselves, to take on an agitated world, the only thing that we have to remember is that we should not collude with the world. We should not partner with the world. We should not agree that the world is distracted or distracting. We should not agree. Because the world is distracting. It's not the devices. It's not the internet. It's not artificial intelligence. Then what is it? In the room, we realized it, isn't it? Yes or no? Again, many times over today, again, you understood or experienced something very simple. That I can have more clarity. My eyes can, my eyes can lose that tension, and I can be clearer in my physical and spiritual vision, and get up feeling much more fresh to take the decision that I'm supposed to take, that I would have taken not in my best interest 15 minutes before the practice. Yes or no? If I'd taken the same decision 15 minutes before, maybe by good luck and our enormous intelligence, maybe things would have turned out right. But I'm submitting to this room in all my humility and humbleness that 15 minutes of this practice, you will be a better decision maker. Yes or no? Didn't you experience that? That you could think about things a little more clearly. And that's all that I feel that I can say this afternoon to all of you, that just 15 minutes of any practice. And today we did 3 things at the same time. We did some good breathing, we did some good relaxation, and we did some good meditation. All 3 together, like lying down in Shavasana and being guided through a simple practice for 15 minutes. We did 3 things. We covered the whole gamut of yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, and dharana. All of it happened in 15 minutes, not 5, 15. Okay. Yeah, that's the amount of time that you kind of rested. And it was like putting Tanvi's baby to sleep. How wonderful it is to see a small baby sleeping. That's how you were, all of you, in your own purity, in your own essence, and innocence. You're just sitting there and just letting you take care of yourself. And the moment you take care of yourself, guess what? Just like Rashmi said, a lot of clutter is gone. So I'm not going to do now rubbish things. I was about to do many rubbish things to complicate my life even more. But now a lot of rubbish is gone. And now what's left is clarity. I am me. I'm not somebody else. I can take care of these 7 things. I can't take care of 500 things. I can only take care of 4 things. Now, how wonderful is that? You will be able to decide better and achieve better, just in 15 minutes of practice. So I thought rather than just talk, a one-sided conversation, I thought it might be a good idea for you to also experience what it means to have wisdom take the decisions on your behalf in a highly restless world. And where is that wisdom? That wisdom is in this room. The wisdom is in all of us, isn't it? The wisdom is there. We know what to do. Just that we shouldn't have 17 things on the agenda while the decision is being made. We'll know how to take the right decision. All of us do. So I submit to the group, to the room. If you'd like to have some conversation, any discussion, I'm happy to answer any questions. Shivaniji, I'm at the end of my talk.
Thank you, Arunji. And with this session, it reminds me of Patabi Joy's quote, 99% practice, 1% theory. So you have just reminded us that practice is so important. And for this decision making also, the mindfulness, the breath, getting connected to it, getting connected to now is so important to make the right decision. Thank you so much, sir. And we'll just take 1 or 2 questions from the group. So if you feel, just unmute yourself, and we have Arunji to address your questions and answer you.
Anything related to yoga or health or
Life in general.
in general, our presence in a very complicated and highly evolving world. Anything to do with that? And we'll connect it back to yoga whenever you ask the question.
I just want to thank you, Arun, for bringing this to the sense of overwhelm that certainly I feel with so much digital media around. But you've brought it down very simply to this is human nature. This has always been present. And I think knowing that, then we also know that we have the skills to deal with this. And I'm so grateful for that because it's empowering. So just that comment, thank you.
Anybody else would like to share anything or ask a question? Sailesh, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Again, another beautiful concept which you have shared right now. It's three things together: breathing, relaxation, and meditation. So, a lot of new things are coming in your conversation, and we come to know a lot of things. So that bring me to one question, sir, actually, and it is related to this breathing. So, in breathing, they say there is one Brahma Vidya also, which is they are saying it's 1,200 years old, and that is from Indian tradition. So, like people who are in this path, basically, there's a lot of things come in their way, and they often get confused about this. So, just want to know the difference between pranayama because they say it's 8 types of different breathing practices, and there is 22 weeks course and all, and then you master it and all. It's a Tibet now. It's in Tibetan these things, and so if you can throw some light and some guide on this, basically, that will be great because it relates to breathing. That's what I'm asking.
I don't want to mislead the group. I can say a lot of things, Sailesh, very intimidating question. In my life, I've found keeping things simple is more important than complicating things. We did the whole of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, 196 sutras, in just 15 minutes. I don't know what exists out there in the malls, how many things there are to buy, and how many unfulfilled desires I have. I don't want to open the door. It's extremely intimidating to know that I know very little. The knowledge out there is so infinite. It's not even infinite, it's so infinite that you and I will be playing the same game of distraction that this talk is about. We're not focusing on ourselves. We're focusing on technology of any kind. It doesn't matter what that technology is, whether it is spiritual technology or it is technology related to wires and lack of wires, digital technology. So both are technologies. As long as as far as I am concerned, the technology is not important. What's important is for us to be normal. There is something called normal, and we can feel it at the end of every good yoga practice. We feel normal. That's all that is important. The evolution of human spirit, Sailesh, is another thing altogether, and which is what Brahma Vidya or any other esoteric and detailed practices and spiritual literature is about. In this room, with the kind of program that we have, it is really out of syllabus. This is for Grahastha ashram, people like us, people who want a simple solution to very, very complicated things. We cannot stop war, we cannot stop planes falling off the skies. There is a lot of suffering and misery. At the same time, we cannot discount these things. These things are happening all around us. How can we be a little more calm, a little more peaceful, and how can we approach our destiny a little more sharp? Patanjali says in one of the most beautiful sutras that I find very encouraging and calming for myself, and I share it with my students all the time. Heyam dukkham anagatam. Patanjali says that with the practice of yoga, you can prevent the suffering that is yet to come. He might be saying you can change your destiny, or he might be saying you can change your own approach to destiny. It could be interpreted in either way. I believe that he's saying you can change your approach to what is happening out there. The suffering that is happening, which you are imposing on yourself as well. Heyam dukkam anagatam. The thing that is going to come, you can prevent it by the practice of yoga. So when we look at the more esoteric practices, then it is really talking about some entirely different realm of yoga practice altogether. For me, this much is enough, that yoga can help me to have a better vision in daily life. That's all that is important.
That's a beautiful summation. So,
Could you tell me which sutra this is? Shivani, you'll have to share it with Bridget.
yes, I'll just message her.
Thank you very much. You saved my life in the room. Yes. Anybody else has anything else to say? Otherwise, we can conclude with a small prayer.
I have a question, Arunji. So, this tendency to have 17 things on the agenda, because we know that one is enough, sometimes even too much, and yet, right? So there's a certain level of eagerness, there's a certain level of grasping, that then yoga practices really teach us do not grasp. Really, some of the most powerful teachings can be summarized in this just not grasping, but why? What is it in your experience? Do you also have 17 things on your agenda, or were you able with practice to just have, enough of what you need to take care of, obviously, as a responsible citizen? But is it something that is always going to be there? Is it a sign of the times? I know you already said that it is always going to be there. But do you think that because of the speed that you're mentioning at the beginning, maybe there were 7 before, now there's 17, and there could be 27 soon, or what is your experience with that? Thank you.
So, Sagita ji and everybody in the room, I believe that I found a great parent in yoga. And yoga is, thank you, Shivani ji. 2:16, chapter 2, verse number 16, Bridget. Every aspect of yoga is an experiential science. It is not theory. So when you come to my class or you teach me some yoga, it's a difference between a mother giving medicine and honey. A young mother like Tanvi will give her baby some medicine, but she's very clear that the baby will spit out the medicine because it's bitter. So what she cleverly does as a mother is mix the medicine with honey, and the child is having the honey, and the child feels very happy that mom's doing a great job. But actually, she is infused the medicine, and the mother is giving the medicine to the child, not the honey. The medicine is not honey, and honey is not the medicine. And all of yoga practice for me is not, let's say, the stretching or coming up into the headstand or doing, some amazing balancing postures. All of that is the honey. It's keeping us on a yoga mat for a certain period of time. But the more vital aspect of yoga practice, whether it is reading the sutras or being in a lecture on Vedanta, or practicing asana and pranayama as we just did in the room, is that every cell in the body starts to transform, to change. You become a better human being at the end of 1 hour or the end of 2 hours. And consistently over a period of time, you become a better human being, full stop. 17 things don't bother you anymore. So if you consistently are a practitioner looking at the medicine rather than the honey, the superficial aspect of yoga, and there is nothing superficial about yoga. So I'm sorry if I'm mentioning it's a word that even practicing yoga on the mat just for the physicality of it, or doing pranayama just for the sake of practicing breath work, still has its immense benefits. But that's really the carton. The content inside the carton is really what nourishes us. For example, what's important is that you spend 1 hour with yourself. That is so important that you don't have a mobile phone because you can't pick it up. You see, on the mat, in a group session like this, and your phone is on silent, you don't have access for those 15 minutes. I'm talking to you and respectfully you're following my instructions. How can you pick up that phone? You can't do it. So it's away from you. That me time is more important than you relaxing your tissues. Because deep inside you lies the wisdom of what is right and what's wrong. You are your own teacher in reality, in real terms, in real time. You are your own teacher. You yourself can say yes or no to things. I'll give you an example. In the months preceding starting the practice of yoga, I come from Kerala, a land of coffee, but I've lived all my life in North India. But I grew up in a Kerala family. My parents spoke Malayalam, so I speak the language fluently. We always drank coffee. So in 1992, I'd reached a stage at the age of 29, I could finish a 50-gram bottle of coffee in 3 days. I used to drink a lot of coffee, like a lot of coffee, like people reek of smokers. I used to reek of coffee. My blood had more coffee than blood in it. And then as I started practicing yoga, Sangeeta ji, this very interesting thing happened when I look back. People want to give up smoking, give up coffee, give up drinking, give up many things. I don't have the time for humor today. But I realized that somehow coffee is not attractive anymore to me. It doesn't seem to make any sense to me. I don't know why. Then I now know because I'm a teacher. I realized that my energy levels were so high when I was practicing yoga, it came from within, that I did not need something from the outside to give me some energy. So this is one thing off my agenda. There are 17 things. I have to drink coffee is one of them. Now one thing is gone automatically. I don't have to talk to myself. Nobody has to, lie me down on a couch and say, Arun, how was your childhood? Was it the reason why you're drinking so much coffee today? All the just going on the mat, lying down for 4 months, I suddenly realized I don't need any more coffee. I stopped that addicted approach to coffee completely. Now, if you offer me some coffee, and I hope you do, I'll be very happy to drink it. But I'm not going to ask you for a second cup and a third cup and a fourth cup. I would have been very shamelessly asking you for that once upon a time. And that's how yoga can really cure you. That it takes you back to your normalcy. You don't need to be involved. You don't need to be engaged. There are 3 things that you need to be engaged in them very well. And the others don't need your presence. This realization doesn't come from the outside, doesn't come with a lecture. It doesn't come with counseling. It only comes with a realization, an experience. Like I said, yoga is an experience, whether you're practicing Hatha Yoga, whether you're practicing Vedanta, or whether you're practicing even Kirtan, it comes naturally, it comes. That medicine works. Just be present to the medicine. The medicine is more important than the honey. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little pompous. I'm not trying to be that. I'm just sharing my own understanding that the cover of the book is important. The title is really nice. Sometimes I get all my lessons from just the cover of the book. It says How Not to Die. Okay. So that's a good title. So I feel very encouraged by the cover of the book. But the book is this thick. Obviously, the author has taken a lot of time to write it. If I can immerse myself in that content, then I liberate myself. I feel free. I don't need to be tangled, engaged. And that's the experience of yoga. So that's my submission, Sangeeta ji, that an experience can allow you to disengage, disentangle yourself. It doesn't matter how many things there are on the planet to engage. Let them be engaged. You can disconnect. You can be out of control. You don't need to control. You don't need to have a fear of missing out. You're missing out anyway. You and I are missing out really a lot of things. I mean, we are sitting here rather than be, so this is Sunday. Everywhere it's Sunday already. And we are sitting here in this webinar and wondering when is Arun going to stop talking? We can't be in 15 different places at the same time. We're really trying hard, but it's not possible. And let yoga teach us that. Let yoga be our mother who, just gets into our blood. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. I'm really grateful for your listening and your presence.